We're back here on Extra Rounds from UFC Fight Pass. I'm TJ DeSantis. Pleased to be joined now by Minnesota Timberwolves, Naz Reid. Naz, I'm like the Lakers. I was born in Minneapolis. I live in LA now. I don't really like living in LA. Unlike the Lakers, they've made a home for themselves here. But I miss the frozen tundra of Minneapolis and St. Paul, which is where you call home during the NBA season. How are things in the Great White North?
It's pretty good right now, especially, in the summer or going towards summer. Weather's pretty good. It's nice outside. The trails are good. Get to see a lot of people outside. So, I mean, it's really nice out here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the Midwest, like I said, and, in the wintertime, either you wrestled or you played basketball. And I wasn't tough enough to be a wrestler, and I wasn't skilled enough to be a basketball player. But I did enjoy watching the Timberwolves, as I grew up. I wish we were talking about you guys still playing right now.
Right. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on how these NBA finals are shaping up, though? Because it's been a crazy, couple of months at this point with the playoffs.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. A lot of unexpected, the Heat being at the eighth seed and, going to the finals. This is in the NBA playoffs, it's a lot of unexpected turns or unexpected events that happen. And, I mean, everybody's competing, everybody's going hard, and it's a different type of basketball. Everything matters, attention to detail, possessions. It's a whole different basketball game when in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's definitely intense and it's definitely fun.
Yeah, no, I think about team sports compared to like what we, cover with UFC and mixed martial arts. And, I feel like with a team sport, it's hard to stand out, a little bit by yourself. You kind of are reliant on the team around you, but it
Mhm.
also is a different dynamic in a big way. And I feel like you kind of maybe are held accountable, not only in, trying to just not let yourself down with your own dreams, but, the other guys with you night in, night out. Do you feel like
Yeah.
a bond with your teammates that, is something that maybe goes beyond just the regular day in, day out basketball operations? Like, are you chatting with guys as the playoffs, go on?
Mhm.
And do you talk basketball in the off season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're with guys that you're with every single day throughout the year. So it's like you're talking about basketball, you're talking about life, other people's families, just seeing on their well being. So like you're actually building a bond with all your teammates and a brotherhood, and it kind of go off to another team. You kind of still have like, those conversations because once again, when your guys were on the team together, you guys kind of built that bond and relationship and things of that nature. So it's definitely still some chatter going on about just lives, not even just basketball, but just everyday life even.
Yeah, no, I would assume that it's a relationship that doesn't just end when the last game is played.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I want to talk about you coming up a little bit because I think we've seen a lot of change in the way that the NBA operates. From a grooming standpoint, the G League has become a really big thing over the last few years, and something that I've enjoyed considerably. Because like what we do on UFC Fight Pass is we have these regional promotions where you can watch up and coming mixed martial artists fight
Mhm.
all the way to the UFC. And I
Right.
think that if you are a true fan of the sport, it doesn't really matter, who's playing, who's fighting. It's just recognition of
Yeah.
skill. And I think, between the Summer League and the G League as a whole, like, and you've benefited from this, I think it's changed the way that athletes progress throughout their careers and the mindset of what it takes to, get to the NBA. We'd all love to see everyone get drafted in the first round, but
Right.
that's not possible. Sometimes people like yourself don't even go drafted, but they still find their
Right.
way. How much has the G League, do you think, changed the way that athletes approach their own personal basketball careers?
I feel as though it's like looked at upon as another professional level. I mean, I think it's another level where your talent could be seen at a high level. You still have to be treated like a professional. And it's I would say it's another gateway to get into the NBA. I mean, I've been in the G League. It's not easy, but it also brings out the toughness in that person and the will and determination. And it kind of separates that person from who they was, who are they becoming, and you kind of see like who wants it more. And because every night is a brawl in G League because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get to the highest level. So I mean, I feel like with the exposure that they have now, like it's like looked at upon where it's like a spot that you're trying to get to the NBA, instead of college,
Right.
in those terms.
How much different is the collegiate game from just a pacing standpoint compared to the NBA? Because I feel like the G League probably adequately represents what an NBA game feels like more than,
Mhm.
the college game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the pace in itself, I mean, it's definitely faster. There's a lot of different reads that were in college you might not even know exist. Like play calls, it's just actions and things of that nature. Where is on college, you got like a player or two who's, going out there to shine, and then whatever comes. Like in NBA, where it's like every play, every possession, every coaching, all that matters, and every step of the way, it's like we have to do this.
Yeah.
So definitely a difference.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mentioned the similarities a little bit on developing mixed martial artists and developing, athletes like yourself in the G League. Are you watching the UFC? Are you watching the champions and the big fights? Or like, what's your interest
Yeah.
level in mixed martial arts these days?
I mean, so I was like last year. Carl Towns, he actually got me into it. I wouldn't say I wasn't a big fan, but I wasn't really into it as much. And then I think what fight was that at his house? It was like last year.
Okay.
I can't remember who it was, but I know it was. I think it might have been Adesanya in a fight, but it was last year
Okay.
for sure.
Was it
And
like fall time? Could it be?
yeah, I believe so. I think we had just started. Yeah, so around there,
Okay, maybe November would have been Israel Adesanya against Alex Pereira.
probably. So I remember definitely being Adesanya, but uh, yeah, like that was when I first started, and then ever since then, I try to catch every big fight as much as I can. Definitely, it's definitely a great card coming up that I definitely want to try and get to, being that we're in the off season. But yeah, I mean, ever since then, I've been into UFC.
You know, I mean, you're obviously doing your thing on the court, but you're a big enough guy, Nas, where I feel like I'm curious what it looks like when you throw hands. I mean, you ever hit the bag? You ever train? You ever do any sort of martial arts?
I did boxing, but not martial arts. I've never did martial arts before, and it looks different. It looks like when I go on Instagram, I see all these posts. Like I follow Israel myself, so I see he just worked out with what's his name, Volkanovski, and I forget is it Jake or Logan Paul, one of those
Okay.
guys. And I see how sweaty they were. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like they are really getting after it. So definitely something that I'll be interested in.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting when you think about boxing for a brief moment because you just said, "Oh, I've done boxing. I haven't done martial arts." Well, I mean,
Right.
boxing is kind of one of the core martial arts if you think about it. Like, you can't go into
Yeah.
MMA without having boxing, right? You got to throw
Right.
hands,
For
and
sure.
yeah, it is interesting because I feel like wrestling is the same sort of thing. Like, people don't think about wrestling as a martial art, but it very much is
Right.
like the center of
It is.
like those they don't get the love of the other martial arts that we mix when it comes to, like, I think the traditional model too much. But I don't know. Keep playing basketball and doing your thing there. It's working out pretty well for yourself. But you know,
Yeah,
might,
sure.
might need to see you step in the octagon one day, maybe.
We went to last summer. We went to Vegas. We were in, I guess it's the headquarters there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we saw Francis Ngannou.
Nice.
We saw a few guys, and we got to go in the ring just to see. Like, I'm like just looking at it. I'm like, bro, this ring is like actually smaller than I expected. Like, you really have to be. You're really like there with the other person. Like, you don't have much space to go anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
yeah,
especially when you're as big as Naz Reid. I mean,
right, exactly. Like, I'm like standing in the octagon. I'm like way taller than the gates.
right.
I'm like, this is crazy. I thought
Yeah.
it would be bigger.
No, I mean, everything looks bigger on TV.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know,
fact.
but we got a basketball camp I think coming up. You're running in your home state of New Jersey. Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean, I love when athletes bring it back home and stay close to where it all sort of began. And it sounds like you're doing your part and helping the up and coming players try to make something of their own.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember where it was a time where I kind of wish that I got an opportunity to meet an NBA player, or like just to even opportunity to go out there and work out for somebody like that, and then like having that personal relationship where I could probably gain a personal relationship from somebody and at the camp, and consistently contacting them, making sure they're good, things of that nature. So I remember I've always wanted to have that type of relationship with a basketball player, and just me thinking like that, I kind of just want to go out there and give back to the kids that really need.
Do you remember like one of the first athletes you ever met?
I think it was Marshawn Brooks.
Okay.
I was young. I was young. Like I was like in sixth grade, seventh grade. He was like kind of from my part of New Jersey, but at the same time he wasn't. But like he was the first player that I knew was in the NBA. He was on the Nets at the time, so I had a kind of little relationship with him. But other than that, I think like my first Steph Curry. I would say Steph Curry. I went to his camp in my freshman year of high school. So I mean, got to go out there and experience that. That was a great experience. Got to speak to him. Now playing against him, so that's crazy.
That's awesome. I get to talk to a lot of mixed martial artists, but I don't get to talk to a lot of basketball players like yourself. But in the virtual world, when I'm playing video games, I actually have a bone to pick with you, Naz. I'm playing 2K. I'm on the Timberwolves, and you're stealing all my rebounds. I'm not getting minutes because of you.
I gotta get it somewhere. I gotta get it somehow, man.
I know you hurt your wrist. How's that doing?
Not too bad at all, actually. I mean, I've been working out just fine. Been lifting everything, so everything's been going well.
And this camp is coming up in August, so you got some more time to even rehab it on that standpoint. How
Yep.
much do you personally get involved with teaching kids and the mechanics of the game? Are you able to stand idly by, or do you find your way into the mix?
I mean, I would say starting to find myself in the mix. I mean, I would say within the last 2 years, I was more like not shy, but I wasn't as outgoing. Now I'm kind of like I speak a lot more. I try to get engaged a lot in different ways. Trying to just do whatever I can, do my part.
Nice. Well, what do you do this offseason besides this camp? Anything that you're looking forward to having some time away from the rigorous grind of the NBA schedule?
I mean, probably out the country. I've never really been out the country as much, but I'm definitely like I told my girlfriend and one of my friends, like I'm definitely trying to get to a UFC fight this summer for sure. So I'm definitely like that's on my list for sure.
July 8th, Las Vegas. Mark it down in your calendar. It's going to be here quicker than anybody really wants it to be, because that's how time seems to move these days. But a huge fight, International Fight Week. Volkanovski is defending his title. Like, come on out, hang out. It'll be fun.
Actually, that'd be perfect because my girl's from Vegas, so like that's perfect. Like
Nice.
She lives there. I'll be already there probably. Like that's perfect.
Awesome. Well, have your people get in touch with our people, and our people are way more powerful than me, so they'll probably be able to hook you up where I can't necessarily. But
for sure. Yep, I'm cool with that either way, man.
We'd love to see you out there. Naz Reid, I appreciate your time, sir. Best of luck with everything in this offseason, and good luck moving forward.
Appreciate you. Thank you.